This is Zombie Duelist coming to you to talk about the new ban list. Now, a lot of you are pretty upset about this ban list. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on here that most people use, but can no longer use anymore. So I'm going to go over all the different things that I believe is quite interesting on this ban list. The main thing that I'm worried about on this ban list is the fact that you can hide behind a lot of traps now. So you have cards like Bottomless Trap Hole, Torrential, Compulse, which, mind you, all got limited to one. But we don't have Heavy Storm. Like, what are we going to do without Heavy Storm? We can't even protect ourselves from all the traps that people are going to set now, because people are just going to set all these trap cards, and you're going to go and you're going to summon a monster, it's going to get Bottomless. You're going to summon your next monster, it's going to get Torrential. You're going to summon your next monster, it's going to go Compulsed. But we're going to have absolutely no defense against back row heavy decks. We're going to see a lot of decks like Gravekeepers and a lot of other decks that hide behind back rows because we can't even play Heavy Storm anymore. So what are we going to do? Cards like Starlight Road are going to be practically useless because if there's no heavy, then why even play the card? Up until this point, I played Elemental Dragons. Elemental Dragons definitely needed to be hit because it's the only deck that you can use that didn't matter what you did to it, it always came back. It always had tools in the graveyard, in the hand, or on the field. So seeing that deck gone is kind of a relief. This brings me to my next card, Eradicator Epidemic Virus. Now, a lot of you probably played against this card. It's really, really broken. I mean, you could activate it. All of your opponent's spells or traps, whichever one you choose, they're pretty much not going to have for the next 3 turns. That card needs to go to 1. Super Rejuve, also. That card, being that Elemental Dragons is already gone, I don't know why they hit that, because without E-Dragons, that card isn't considered that broken anymore, because you can't really utilize it that much. Solemn Judgment was definitely a surprise. I don't know what their reasoning for that was, but Solemn Judgment is... I guess the reason they did it was because they didn't want too many back row heavy decks to become too good and too unstoppable. So they're trying to limit the back rows and limit the special summons and limit the draws. So Spellbook of Judgment, that's another card that's banned. Makes sense because what other cards you can add that many cards to hand just by activating one card? I mean, that's absurd. I'm glad to see cards like Seal of Convocation, Black Whirl, and other cards that make the old decks a little better go back to 3, because that means these older decks now have a chance in a much more balanced format. My favorite thing about this ban list is, of course, me being a zombie player, is Mizuki and Plague both going to 2. Now, I don't know how that's going to affect this format, being that zombies are about to get really popular on the next set that's going to be released. But all I can tell you is look out for zombies, because they're going to be absolutely unstoppable. I'm already looking into building a deck that's going to consist of zombies and TGs and the Destiny Heroes, since Malicious is at 3, Plague Slayer is at 3. So why not make a Destiny TG zombie deck? I'm going to try it out. If it works out, I might do another profile on it. If not, I'm just going to make another zombie variant and figure out something that works. Feel free to comment on this video. Let me know if you have any ideas, any questions. But overall, this ban list is going to be really interesting. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Alright, Zombie Duelist out.